the one, the only, Bencio.
Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube Table Enabled. As we continue Shulchan Aruch Yomi, we're doing Siman Reish and Zion 277 Aruch Chaim 5 halachos Shalom Ligrum Kiboy Ner. Not supposed to cause candle to go out. Aleph Ner Shemunach Acharei Adelis. Let's say you have a candle which is behind the door, right? You have a candle lit behind the door, not on the door. Also Leftoach Adelis Kedarko. You can't open the door. Shemi Yechbeno HaRuach. Because the door might let in a normal wind, might blow it out. Aval linol adelas kenegdo mutter, to close the door, you're not doing anything, right? You're not supposed to open the window because it might go out. Now, if there's a chance it won't go out, it's okay, because that's not a psik ratio. We're talking about a psik ratio where it's a 95% chance. Most posts can assume psik ratio is 95% chance. So if it's 95% chance it'll go out, you can't open it. But if it's not a strong wind, you could open it. Let's say it's right behind the door. Now when you open the door, it'll knock into the candle. Even if you open it slowly, because you might come to open it very fast, and you might hit into the candle and cause it to go out. But you could open very slowly. If you do it open very slowly, right, benachas is very slowly, so therefore you remind yourself that there's a candle behind there, you won't knock into it, you won't extinguish it. Let's say the candle is actually attached to the door. When you're moving the door, it's going to move the oil around the candle, and it's going to, for that second, it'll have less light or more light. Also, you're not allowed to open it at all. However, if it's a candle made out of wax, where the flame is not dictated by oil, the oil is not moving around, so then it's not going to light more or light less, so it's okay. Now, most posts can assume this is doraisa, right? When you're makarev shemen to the air, when you cause more shemen to go into the candle, you're violating the melech doraisa of mavir. And if the shemen goes away and the flame becomes dimmed a little bit, you violate the isra machabe. And Ian Delina, I'm going to talk more about this. Why I don't believe it's doraisa. I don't believe that any isra over here. This is for sure mutter, and even if you take out shemen or you put shemen in, the most it's definitely not a chi of skila. It might be an issue d'oraisa, but it's probably an issue d'rabbanan. Marbe b'shir and mafkas b'shir, and I'll talk about that in Talion. It's a very important shir because I think everyone has it wrong. Let's say you have a fireplace which is next to the door. You're not allowed to open the door. Even as a regular wind, a furnace, right, is a big fire. So you open, even if it's a regular wind, 95% chance the fire will be partially extinguished. However, to close it's not doing anything, right? Gimel shach ner al tavla. Let's say you forgot a candle on the table. Menar is a tavla whenever you finish your meal. You want to take the tablecloth off. You could do that. You could take the tablecloth off. Remove the table. Even if the nair is lit, because even if it falls, it might not go out. Now we're probably talking about it's already in a glass casing or something like that where it's not going to go out. But it's definitely going to go out. There's 95% chance it's going to go out. Again, that's also. It's better to do it through a non-Jew because again, this is called tiltul min atzad. It's not direct moving. Tiltul min atzad is mutter technically, but it's better to do it through a non-Jew. There has to be a candle made out of wax, or there's no oil, because if there's oil, it's going to move. Again, like we said in Sif Aleph, you're moving the oil around. If you make the fire stronger, it's mavir. If you make it less, you dim it a little bit, it's mechaba. It's going to move. Let's say you put the candle intentionally on this table, not just because you had no other place to put it, intentionally. Also lenara, then you can't even move it. Sharei hatavla he basis. Because the table becomes muksa. If it becomes a basis, the Gemara talks about a base, right? You intentionally put something in this place, intentionally, to remain there. So just like that is muksa, because it's carrying a candle, which is muksa, because you can't extinguish the candle. The table also becomes muksa, so you can't move the tablecloth, or you can't move the table. You can touch the table, because it's not moving. If you have a menorah, you have a light in the shul where candles are lit, right? They're held in a candelabra. You can touch the candelabra, as long as you don't cause it to move. If it's going to move, that's a problem. That's metaltal. I don't know why you would light it. Maybe you're eating outside. You want to light some candles on the tree. You could do that on Shabbos. What are we worried about? Once it goes out, you're going to care about your silver candelabra, your gold candelabra. You're going to take it off. You're not going to do that on Shabbos, because Shabbos you can't extinguish it. So you're probably not going to go up to you're not going to go next to the candelabra. Maybe after it extinguishes you might, but probably not. The problem is you climb a tree, or to get it, your mishtamish mechuber, getting supported by a tree is usher. It's usher to get support by a tree, because you might come to cut off branches. During Yom Tov you can't put fire there. Because that you can move on Yom Tov. You're allowed to be ma'avir. The malacha of havara is mutter, so you might take it while it's lit and move it, and therefore you climb the tree, mishtamish the tree, so therefore it's asr. Hey, mutter lechapos kara agabe ner b'Shabbos dei shaliochaz or bakura. Let's say you see that the flame is getting very big. You want to take something metal or something which is not flammable and cover the fire, so it shouldn't basically catch fire on the house. The house should catch fire. You're allowed to do that. Then you're not doing anything, right? You're not doing anything. You're doing outside. At best, it's grama. Grama is not a problem. Stay tuned for Ian to lean on, right? Talk about this concept that the Gemara and the Poskim seem to assume is a malacha d'oraisa, maybe a chayav skila, adding shemen to the nair or taking shemen out of the nair, which is not even discussed really in this sim. Here we're only talking about moving the oil closer to the nair or moving it away from the nair, which seemingly, according to the Poskim, is an isser d'oraisa. I'll tell you why that's completely mutter, and I'll tell you why adding shemen to a nair or taking shemen from a nair is at most asr min daraisa without a chayav skila, and probably asr min darabanan. And I'll tell you why Ian to lean on coming up next.